Coach's office is coming back at you.
We're back.
It's been a long time since we've got to see you, a good while since we've got to talk to you. We've got a whole lot to cover.
And it starts now.
The following is a special presentation of the Coach's Office.
I never punt on Madden.
Go Knowles.
I don't even know what roll tide means.
I mean, let them in. What is there to lose?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all right. Glad to have you in here. Why was everyone so concerned with the outfield play for the movie to be called Angels in the Outfield?
Where'd you get your shirt? Foot Locker? Uh-oh, Murphy's calling.
And now your hosts, Kyle Donahue and Matt Ripley.
How's it? Welcome into the Coach's Office. My name is Kyle Donahue along with Matt Ripley. We're here to talk about some sports.
Hopefully we can keep going with this thing. Is it like riding a bicycle? I mean, is this something that you can just get right back on and be
Still
good?
working on my trike.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. I want my training wheels taken off. Golly, so much has happened. What's happened? It's a different world since
It's
the
a
last
different
time
world.
we talked
If
to
you remember last time, we talked about the AAF, and this time we're going to talk about the Alliance of American Football.
And it's gone.
It's already gone.
It's been so long since we've talked to you. A football league has started and filed for bankruptcy all in that pan.
That's crazy.
I
Two
mean-
guys, two NBA stars have come and gone. The bright shining star in Dallas and the bright shining star down in South Beach have both retired. We're going to talk about that today.
We have an NCAA champion.
Who saw that one coming?
Talk about a turnaround. You get upset by the first ever 16 team to beat you. You almost did it twice in a row,
Almost.
and now you're the champion.
Now you are the champion. And we're also going to talk about the NBA, the Lakers. What should they do? We'll talk about all that.
Trade LeBron.
Maybe. We'll talk about all that right after this.
The Coach's Office is now looking for a title sponsor. Your name would be over the whole entire show, or commercial sponsors. If you or someone you know owns a business and would be interested, please contact us either on Facebook, on Twitter, or through our email, thecoachesofficeshow@gmail.com. And we'd love to have you be a part of the Coach's Office. We're back inside the Coach's Office. We're coming at you across 14 different platforms. We've got sponsors. We've got good things going. We've changed a lot about the Coach's Office as we keep expanding. So we're very excited to have the sponsors that are brought to us across Anchor and all these other apps that we're going to be broadcasting on. We're getting bigger, and we hope you'll join us.
Yeah, we're trying to get a bigger listening base, and it starts with you guys. Thank you for the faithful listeners. We're the same great Matt and Kyle.
We'll never change.
Never going to change.
So we're going to talk about the AAF, what happened, what's going on now. A lot of rumors are swirling around what had caused this to get to this point. And one of the biggest things is they didn't have enough money to start.
Cash, baby.
And so the AAF, they said, started prematurely because Vince McMahon came out and said, "This is the XFL. It's coming back."
That was a good Vince.
I try. I'm a big wrestling fan.
I'll see you at WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. And so they tried to get ahead of the game. They launched an entire football league in less than 12 months. Talk about, the money that they were going to pay everybody already. Then it's the insurances, it's all the gear. I mean, everything that they had to put into this financially. Now it's gone.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they started out cheap on the uniforms.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that.
As basic gets.
They couldn't get a Nike contract, I guess. But yeah, if you look behind the scenes, I'm sure it takes a lot more than we really realize. There's a lot more money involved, and they just didn't have enough. They said at the beginning they wouldn't even make it to like week 4. And then the Carolina Hurricanes hockey owner came in, threw a ton of money in. They gave him kind of control.
Wasn't enough.
Still wasn't enough. They got through 8 games. It folded after 8 games. Now, what I want to say is the Orlando Apollos, 7-1.
They're the
champs.
Yeah, they're the champions.
Give us our rings. We're the champs.
You've waited your whole life for
3
this.
teams. I mean, I was on the Apollo train before the season started.
Out of the
And
gate.
here we are, AAF World United Super Champs
Of the world.
right? Of the world.
So, I mean, that says a lot. Kyle's been an Apollos fan. I will say that for him since the dawn of Apollo football.
The dawn of 3 months have I been an Apollos fan.
He was on the bandwagon at the bandwagon station.
I said all aboard for the conductor because it was just him and I. We didn't have enough money.
There wasn't anybody
At
else.
that time, there wasn't enough money. Coincidentally, they folded because there
Now,
wasn't enough money.
I do think that helps Vince McMahon and his strategy going forward as the XFL comes in at the first of next year.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they've actually already tried to buy out some of the contracts and the equipment and some of the assets that the AAF left behind.
Yeah, so they were trying to do some some different camera angles, and they were trying to do some different apps for your phone. So I think the XFL is trying to buy some of that, which is smart. I think it was very smart of them to kind of hold back. You didn't want to compete with them,
No.
right? Because then one of you will definitely go under. So I think it was smart on their part to kind of hold back and wait and see what happened. Even if they took off, you're still going to create. The XFL is not.
It's different.
Yeah, it's not the same thing.
Let
so
the
you
first
still
guy
have
make all
that.
the mistakes.
Yeah, you still have that that energy, that buzz about your league. But you can kind of see how they did their thing.
I know one thing that they were pushing there towards the end of the AAF was turning the AAF into a farm league of sorts for the NFL. And to me, that works.
Yeah.
And I think they, in turn, and I think this was kind of the debate there at the very end, should the NFL absorb the AAF and it be one overall big company, or should that league be separate? I think because what they were wanting, what a lot of the argument was having rights to practice squad players. I think if the NFL owns the whole thing, and if it's one big system like the MLB, you can trade guys, call guys up, send guys down, move guys around. Now I think it's something that could work. I definitely think it's something that could work.
Yeah, I think so too. That's a good idea. Did a little looking on the internet, a little look see. 44 players have, since the league is folded, 44 players have signed NFL contracts.
Wow.
Now that's not saying they'll make it past training camp or whatever, but they are on an NFL team right now, including the all-time leading passer in AAF history, Garrett Gilbert of the Orlando Apollos. He's now, interesting enough, he's out with the Browns. That'll be. I don't think they need a quarterback.
No, they got this guy named Baker.
Yeah, but it's a good insurance policy. I mean, anytime you can add the all-time leading passer of anything
Of another league,
of another whole league,
he'll have that forever.
Also, the all-time leading receiver from the AAF, Charles Johnson, also of the Apollos. I mean, makes sense. If you have the all-time passer, you'd have the receiver. He's going to the Eagles. I think he'll make a difference. So there's some guys that
they got something out of it.
They've got what they wanted. They got what they needed. There's some guys that'll make teams, some guys that won't, but at least they got their shot. And I think that's what's good about the AAF. They were at least giving people exposure, giving people a shot, so they just didn't crumble.
Well, now the AAF is RIP, so we will salute you, AAF, and all that you did for us.
Thank you for the 3 weeks, 8 weeks.
You did good. You tried. Now bring on the XFL. And let's see what Vince McMahon will do for us. Yeah. I think it'll be entertaining. We have a new NCAA champion, the Virginia Cavaliers.
Who thought? Now there's going to be people out there that say I picked them in my bracket.
Yeah.
I picked them. Come on, folks. Duke, right?
I thought Duke. I thought North Carolina would make a run.
I thought they would too. They ran into a buzzsaw, but I thought,
Kentucky
Duke disappointed me.
My Vols.
Vols. What happened to them?
I'll talk about the Barnes thing here in a second, but I would have never expected Texas Tech. Virginia, I'll give you Virginia. I'll give you that. You're not calling Texas Tech in the championship legitimately. I mean, I just didn't see it.
If you called them, let us know. Twitter.
Call us.
Give us a call.
I mean,
555.
I mean, Virginia, Texas Tech. Now, a lot of folks said, boo, ratings will suck. I thought it was very interesting to see two teams that have never won a championship have a shot at winning a championship.
And it was a good game.
Yeah, I think
it was a really good game.
I think that changes things.
A lot of people said that it would just be a defensive battle. I thought it was a good game. A lot of offense, a lot of it was a close game for a long time.
Well, all the games down the stretch, the Elite Eight, the Final Four, and the championship, I mean, overtime games, 1-point games, last possession games, a lot of debate. And I think the Final Four, just all the way around, the NCAA tournament had a lot of surprises. The first weekend wasn't as, crazy
Eventful.
as we've liked to see in the past. But overall, I think down the stretch it was quality basketball, and the Virginia Cavaliers are champions. Now, on a side note, I wasn't going to say anything, but now that I thought about it, I'm going to say something. And give me your take on
It's
this.
not in his notes.
Rick Barnes, the Tennessee Vols basketball coach, had a chance to go to UCLA. And everybody's waiting. We're in the 12th hour, 11th hour, whatever hour you call it. And Rick Barnes is going to stay at Tennessee. Jubilation. Wow.
Yeah.
Tennessee over UCLA. Who would have ever thought?
Woo.
Rick Barnes comes out, press conference, and says, had they bought me out, had they paid the money, ponied up on the buyout, I'd be in UCLA right now. And not only that, he said, I really thought I was going to be in UCLA. Would you be that transparent? Is that something you got to tell everybody?
Probably not. But I mean, thank you for being honest.
I mean, I'll take that.
Prayed about it, thought about it, decided Tennessee. But it's, I mean, when you think of the blue bloods of college basketball, UCLA,
Top of the list.
I mean, is there any other program that would be an awesome thing to resurrect? I mean, I don't think Duke's ever going anywhere. Kentucky's not really going anywhere. But if you can resurrect UCLA and put yourself in that lore, obviously you're not going to be as big as Coach Walton.
John Wooden.
John Wooden had Lakers on my mind, but you're definitely going to put yourself in a spot in UCLA history.
I don't blame him. I mean, a lot of people are really jaded. They're like, Tennessee was his second choice. I mean, UCLA, he said it was his dream job, and I mean, a lot of people are going to say that anyway, but I don't know that he necessarily needed to be that transparent. Yeah, like I said, I appreciate the honesty. Thanks for telling me, but you could have kept that to yourself.
No offense to Tennessee fans, but I don't know if it's anybody's like destination job.
Not for basketball.
I don't think basketball is a destination, and football debatable.
Now, yeah, I could go.
But I don't think that's anybody's destination. So you can't really be mad at somebody for not saying, I want to be here forever, unless it's like, Kelly Harper just took over the Lady Vols. I'm sure she would.
She's at the top of the summit.
I mean, I kind of equate it to like the Lady Vols, you know. They're kind of struggling, but wouldn't it be awesome if she resurrects that program, gets it back to where it was, and then they're rolling.
And a lot of people argue that Holly Warlick I think she only missed the tournament once. I mean, had them in the Elite Eight a couple of years. I mean, as far as production, she was up there. But I think the biggest thing was consistency. And nobody wants to follow Pat Summitt.
No.
Nobody's going to want to follow Nick Saban. So, I mean, that she had that going against her. I thought she maintained the program well. And but yeah, I was kind of surprised that Rick Barnes sat down and said, here's what I think, and I really thought I'd be gone. I mean, like I said, kudos to him for the honesty. And he's such a class act that he can get away with saying that. Elaine Kiffin and people of that sort, I don't think they get away with that.
No.
But that's my 2 cents.
Kind of switching gears on the NCAA tournament. 2 things, 2 points. Duke, right? Duke was projected to win it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would say, they're the best players in the nation. They're still freshmen, right? At the end of the year, yes, they're not freshmen anymore. They went through a season, but there's something to say for if you look at the 2 teams in the finals, and if you look at the Final Four as a whole, the model of, and I'm not saying it doesn't work, but the model of one and dones doesn't necessarily produce championships. I think the 11 or 12 Kentucky team, and then the 15 Duke team, are really the only 2 teams that really just stepped up with the one and dones and just
ran the gauntlet,
won the championship. So saying that one and dones are terrible is a bad thing, but saying that they're the way to get you a championship, I don't know necessarily if that's the thing. Now Duke's loading up again, but if you look at the Final Four teams, they're all senior, junior laden, battle hardened guys. When it came down to it, Michigan State made a couple more plays than Duke. And that's, I think, where basketball lies in the tournament is get you some guys that have played together, that are battle hardened, that know each other, that played for 3 or 4 years. And I think that's the way to go.
Part of the program, part of the process.
Yeah. The second point I want to make, years from now, when we're all of us are old, we go to the movies, there's going to be a Disney movie. All right, stay with me here. There's going to be a Disney movie about this Virginia team.
Oh wow, that's a hefty.
There's going to be a Disney sports movie about this Virginia team. I mean, think about it. Think about the characters you've got. You've got this hard luck team. You could start the movie
the upset.
right after the upset, or in the summer. We're working, we're grinding. We've got Coach Bennett grinding, saying we don't want that again. You've got Kyle Guy, and you've got the rest of the dudes ferociously working out through summer workouts, and here comes the season. You've grinded out a season. You've lost to Duke twice. The tournament hits. You almost lose again. Think about that speech in the second half or in the locker room of halftime of the next year after losing.
Guys, don't do this
Please
again.
don't do it.
Please don't do this again.
Please. We're going to be the laughing stock. But then they rise and they win the national championship, the first national championship in Virginia's not that storied, but with Ralph Sampson, they were on the verge. The first championship in their history as Virginia basketball. Disney movie.
What would you call it?
The Rise of the Cavalier.
Okay, I could get with that. Or Road to Glory. Is that
Road to Glory?
Just came to me. Coach Carter. No.
Glory Road.
What about Hoosiers?
So they're not from India.
No.
Glory Road fits though. I think that'd be a good title for a movie.
Cavaliers.
Anybody out there?
If there's a Hoosiers movie, can you have a Cavaliers movie? I mean, that's close enough.
Cavs.
It's a good pitch, though. If I was at Disney, I'd consider it.
I mean, if you look, I really like Coach Bennett. He handled it better than I think probably anybody could have handled losing in that first round.
Yeah.
If you go back and watch the videos, I think he handled it perfectly. And anybody can be beaten on any night, and that was the case. Now they got stomped, but anybody can be, and he handled it like a professional. He's handled this year like a professional. I'm not a Cavaliers fan by any means, but
they're a good team to cheer for.
Yeah, I found myself cheering and shouting from my couch, much like people do on Saturdays. ACC. I don't know. It just came to me.
Does that have? Do people chant ACC?
No, people normally chant another conference during football season. I don't know
SEC,
why.
Is that how you spell
We're
it?
cheering for the whole conference. But anyway,
I'm not a conference homer. Just FYI.
Go Noles. That's all. I don't say go ACC.
I wouldn't either.
Go
but
Noles.
I mean, the SEC does give you a lot to cheer for.
Whatever. Shut
It's
up.
a bigger. Anyway. So now going from college to the professional ranks, the NBA playoffs in full swing. I'll tell you, so far it's panned out about how you would expect the first round to pan out, outside of the one that everybody's watching, Coach Pop.
Magic. Oh,
yeah.
Where are we going?
Not the Magic. Now I will tell you this though, when they got Toronto there in that one game that they won, I was kind of surprised.
Okay, so it's 3-1. I sent the guys. We have a group chat with the football coaches. I sent the guys a picture of my playoff prediction. I have the Magic in 6 with an exclamation point. After game 1, I was ecstatic.
They may not make it to game 6.
They may not make it to game 6, but at least they won 1. All right.
That's a lot.
Didn't get swept.
Are they back? Can you say that?
We're not back yet. We got to get somebody.
Not quite
back. We
back.
got to get some people in there.
Almost back. But I think the biggest one so far has been Coach Pop. I think Popovich has done probably one of the best coaching jobs he's ever done with a team that's pieced together. And he's got the Nuggets at 2-2 right now. Really, honestly, it should be 3-1 after that last game. It's hot start, slow finish.
Yeah, they lost some people at the trade deadline. They let Pau Gasol go, but they've done a heck of a job. 2-2. It can go any way.
Patty Mills playing well. I mean, LaMarcus Aldridge. But I mean, you've gotten rid of Kawhi Leonard, and Danny Green's gone. Tony Parker's in Charlotte, still weird to think. Weird. And so, I mean, you're figuring, all right, the Spurs are going to start their rebuild now. They're going to try to make a run at this thing. And, I mean, they're playing the Nuggets well. Now, to me, the Nuggets haven't played so consistent. That doesn't make them upsettable, if that's such a word. But for them to be at 2-2 right now is definitely something to see. I was surprised that the Clippers even got one on the Warriors. I mean, that was impressive to get one.
The Warriors are not invincible. Now, I don't know if anybody can beat them in a 7-game series, but the Warriors are not invincible as they seem. If they're off, they're just internal. Their internal chemistry just seems weird when you watch them, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think there was somebody posted on Twitter. I don't know if it was a meme or a video, but they were interviewing the 5 guys: Golden State, Durant, Thompson, and all them. Curry, and Durant and Thompson just didn't look very interested. Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant just didn't look interested in the conversation, and supposedly they're on their way out.
I definitely think Durant's on his way out. I don't know about Klay. I think if anybody might be on his way out, it might be Draymond.
Ooh, I could see that.
I don't think they. I mean, you can only put up with his antics so long, can't you?
It gets annoying.
I would.
Kind of reminds me of Artest back in his day, just the way he'd run his mouth. Play well enough to keep him around, but yeah, I think that the way the playoffs are shaking right now, I definitely think that top to bottom, the playoffs are probably about as balanced as they've been in a while. And so I definitely think that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, you got the Bucks. They whooped up on the Pistons, but Pistons were out without Blake for a couple games. Otherwise, I think it would have been pretty close. It looks good. I've got the Bucks and the 76ers, maybe the Raptors. I can't decide if the Magic are going to beat the Raptors.
They got
but really the Bucks and the Raptors will be Eastern Conference Finals, and then the Rockets and Warriors. The Rockets were the 2 seed heading into the last week, and then ended up in the 4 seed, but they lead the Jazz 3-1. I think they'll
the Thunder
that.
are playing good basketball. I mean, the Blazers are playing good basketball right now. The Blazers are playing good basketball right now. I don't know. I'll be curious to see how it shakes out. I'd like to see an NBA championship without the Warriors. We got rid of LeBron for a year. Now let's get the Warriors out of there. And speaking of LeBron, we've got some Laker talk coming for you.
Yeah, we'll hit LeBron up. We'll talk about Dirk and LeBron's running mate, D Wade, here in a little bit when we come back from this break.
Matt and I would love to hear from you inside the coach's office. Join us on Facebook at the coach's office or on Twitter at @coaching_office. Tell us some topics or things that you'd like for us to discuss on upcoming episodes. Also, if you're on Google or iTunes, go ahead and hit the 5 stars. Now, it's time to head back inside the coach's office.
And we're back talking NBA. We're not done with the NBA. We're back talking the Los Angeles LeBrons.
The Lake Show. The LeBron Show.
I don't call them the Lakers anymore. They're the LeBron Show. It's crazy.
I really thought they'd at least sneak into the playoffs.
I didn't. I did. I thought they'd get 6.
I mean, the West, the way that it's been so far, I mean, the West, of course, is much better than the East, but I thought they'd at least sneak into the 8th spot. That was not the case.
Over the Clippers? That would have been tough. All right. So they're looking for both a GM after Magic Johnson stepped down.
He
kind
bolted.
of hastily.
Yeah.
He just left.
See ya.
And then after what's his name?
Luke
Walton decided to amicably split.
He's the Sacramento Kings coach.
He was
now.
fired.
Yeah.
He just split to go run to Sacto. All right. So let's talk GM first. Who do you think is going to be the general manager of the Lake Show?
Got a couple of no names. A couple of guys that have just a very small following around the NBA. This young man, Phil Jackson.
Never heard of him.
He coached the Chicago Bulls right there in the late 90s through the 90s, and he won a couple rings there with a guy by the name of Michael Jordan.
Ooh.
And then, and so he came out to L.A. and coached the Lakers for a little while. I think he won a couple championships then. Shaquille O'Neal was there.
That's when they stole him from the Magic. I don't want to hear that. Oh, this guy.
So, yeah. So now you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So Phil Jackson, while his time with the Knicks didn't go well, maybe he gets some redemption with the Lake Show. And then, he played for him a couple years ago.
Ron Artest?
No, not Ron Artest, the other guy. Kobe, the Black Mamba Bryant.
Ooh.
However, I think Kobe's he's not been out of it long enough.
Ooh.
He just doesn't come across as the suit and tie type. Mamba mentality in the front office, though. Could you imagine? Why don't he just come back?
So the question would be, and I've got this on my notes, would Kobe trade LeBron?
Trade him, man. Trade him. I said trade him from the beginning. Trade him for Anthony Davis. Send him to New Orleans. Humble the man.
I think if they're going to trade him, all right, coming out of this, so we just talked about our NBA playoff predictions. I think the Warriors are going to be playing the Bucks for the NBA championship. Who in the West might need a LeBron? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the Rockets. Imagine LeBron and the Rockets.
Here you
I
go.
think that LeBron team beats the Warriors. You'll have James Harden standing off in the corner ready to dribble, but then he'll just be able to shoot. You've got LeBron.
They wouldn't
You've
get
got
enough
Chris
shots.
Paul. That Warriors team, that Rockets team might scare the Warriors.
Harden and James wouldn't have enough shots in a game between them.
LeBron doesn't have to shoot.
They'd have to extend the
He
quarter
said it for
length.
years he doesn't have to shoot.
Bull crap.
I'm a facilitator.
He is not. He's as much of a facilitator as I am. I'm going to go out there and dish the rock.
You
But
can tell this guy has never dished the rock.
I'll dish
Just by the
rock.
way he said that.
I like to roll dingers in baseball. I do it all, folks. But no, listen. What about, stay with me,
Okay.
the Lakers step up. The Los Angeles Lakers have decided to trade LeBron James for Kevin Durant.
Ooh.
And now LeBron is a Golden State Warrior.
That won't happen because Kevin Durant's out of his contract
Ugh.
this year.
Could you imagine LeBron going to Golden
Oh.
State? Hey, guys, it's me. Get
Oh.
out of here.
I couldn't beat you, so I joined you. Kevin Durant style.
Yeah, golly.
Pass.
Hey, now that Kevin's gone, can I be on
I'll
your team?
never, ever watch the NBA again.
Will y'all pick me now that Kevin's
I
not
will
playing?
never watch the NBA.
Send the man to Sacramento. Send him
Never.
to New Orleans. Humble him. Just once.
That'd be awesome.
Send him to Orlando. Oh,
I mean, LeBron's a great person. He'll never win in Orlando. Let's be honest.
he does a lot of good things for the league.
He's a great
but
person.
I want to see him as a
Can't
Minnesota
stand him.
Timberwolf.
Can't stand him on the court. If he was somewhere like,
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Back the Vancouver Grizzlies.
Phoenix. Seattle Supersonics are starting back up. Send him to Seattle.
The Seattle Super LeBrons.
All right, so I've got my choice. I think the Lakers have to go after somebody. I don't think Pelinka's the guy. Now Pelinka was the agent to Kobe,
Oh,
so that may be a little.
that's a good theory.
Yeah, but I don't think that'll happen. And I do think Kobe would trade LeBron just so he can keep his records.
Yeah.
Get
Get out of here.
Get out of here. But I think the Lakers need to go after somebody that's proven, number one, and that's a big name, number two. Look none other than these two guys. Number one, the guy that's pretty much built the Oklahoma City Thunder from the ground up.
From the ground.
Sam
up.
Presti. At one time, they had 3 NBA MVPs on the team, right? And they're still relevant after the trading 2 of them. The second person, proven, a winner, both player and as a GM, built a proven winner already in the Lakers. The man's the logo. His
Wait a minute.
office is down the hall
Wait a minute.
at Staples Center.
I think I know this.
Go get Jerry West to lead the Lakers.
Wild, Wild West.
Bring him back.
When I stroll into the Wild, Wild West. I don't know the rest. Something about bouncing in and.
I never learned it. I just learned the hook.
Yeah, going straight.
I mean, he may be. There's critics that say he's too old.
That's me.
Jerry West will resurrect
That wouldn't hurt.
the LA LeBrons.
That wouldn't hurt. I can get behind that.
And maybe he would trade LeBron.
I think we're all in
We're
agreement.
stuck on that.
Just trade him. I just want to see it.
We're stuck on that one.
I would die laughing if the GM was signed and the very next day, after LeBron's made this big deal of I'm going to LA and then we're going to trade you.
Excuse me, sir, LeBron.
You're being traded.
You're being traded.
I would roll in the floor laughing.
I wouldn't go tell him if I was that person.
No, I'm not going to tell him. You
Send
go tell him.
Do-boy Johnny. Hey, do-boy Johnny, go tell
Hire
LeBron.
him just to tell him and then fire him.
Watch yourself, though. He's 6'9".
Hey,
So who's
LeBron.
the head coach? Who's it gonna be? They've interviewed 2 people. Monty Williams, who was the head coach in New Orleans, and then got fired after they made the playoffs. That was weird.
Yeah.
And then you got Ty Lue, who infamously led the Cleveland LeBrons to their championship.
I think it's going to be Ty Lue
Yeah, I think so too.
because LeBron can live through him.
Yeah.
Why are you giving this man the keys? I mean, the Lakers were in a rebuild. Kobe retires. They're rebuilding. They bring in Lonzo. They're doing all the right things. They're trying to put together a brand. And now you're going to throw all the pieces out to make it work for this guy. Why? I mean, keep doing what you're doing and just plug him in. Why are you going to give it? They've traded everybody. He got rid of everybody. You're leaving. You're leaving. You're leaving. I don't even play. We're trading you anyway.
It doesn't matter if you play.
We're
I don't
trading you
care.
for the other
gave
towel
water
guy.
terribly. Give some better water. Yeah, I mean,
What a mess.
I've said it from the start. When you sign on for LeBron, post LeBron era is not going to look pretty. And I mean, so they haven't traded anybody yet, right? They haven't got anybody in there. I don't know what's going to happen. A lot of those guys, like Lance Stevenson, signed a 1-year deal. It's going to be a new team next year.
Kawhi's not coming.
I don't think so. He could. I mean, he could, but I don't think so.
Yes.
Klay Thompson
Davis,
could.
I don't think Anthony Davis is going.
Klay Thompson might fit in well with LeBron.
It wouldn't hurt.
But anyway.
That's a shame. But here we are. We're back. We're at you. We're in your ears once again. Again, you can find us across 14 different platforms now. If you want to be a sponsor of our show, be sure to hit us up on Facebook, on Twitter. We're all over the place. Anytime between episodes, make sure you hit us on the webpage. Read those blogs. As a matter of fact, Kyle dropped a LeBron Effect blog not too long ago. So that'd be a great way for you to get in with that.
So finishing up today with the NBA. I feel like we've been talking about the NBA a lot. We recently said goodbye to two pillars on their teams. Dirk Nowitzki, been with the Dallas Mavericks for, 21 years.
Entire career.
Since 1998.
They don't make them like that anymore.
They don't. And then you got D Wade, who was with the Heat, 5th overall pick in 2003. He's went a couple different places, but he's still, he's still the face of the Heat.
Yeah, he's Miami.
So Dirk Nowitzki, I think, brought a championship, NBA championship to Dallas in 2011. That kind of solidified the city's love for him. He seems like a genuine person.
He does. Down to earth.
Seems like somebody that does, down to earth. Somebody that does things the right way. Team first player, and he was really the first big to play inside outside.
Yeah,
and he was so hard to guard.
Yeah, he just that shot, as funky as it is. I mean,
first guy to play inside outside. First guy really to bridge the European gap.
Yeah, I can deal with that.
He set the mold for European players. When he came into the league, there was like 10% of the NBA was from Europe. Now it's like 30.
Yeah, I was going to say not anymore.
3 out of every 10 come from Europe, including 2 guys on his team.
What's crazy is I felt like Dirk wasn't 100% sold on retiring, and then the league kind of gave him a farewell tour, and then it just kind of happened.
Yeah, he kind of said he didn't want to have a farewell tour, but if you watched his games, he never played. He played like the last couple weeks, but his knees were just so bad.
He's just lost.
He's just too tough for him.
D Wade's same way.
Yeah, Dirk definitely changed the game for bigs, and I think it was awesome to watch him, especially when they beat the Heat.
Yeah,
for their championship.
That was one of the best. I watched almost that entire playoff, and for the Mavericks to pull that off, huge upset. That was definitely pretty special.
And he is 6th on the all-time scoring list. Dirk Nowitzki.
Wow.
That's hard to believe. Silent assassin, I guess.
Yeah,
he is only 850 points behind the GOAT, MJ.
One more year.
850.
Let's go around the sun one more time.
One more time.
You got it, man. Just, I don't know.
D Wade, 5th pick in the stacked 2003 draft.
Holy cow.
Who all's in this draft? First pick, LeBron.
The king.
2nd pick,
Melo.
No,
Melo was later.
It was
who was the 2nd pick?
Forgot his name. I had it written down somewhere. I forgot it. 3rd pick, Melo. 4th pick, Bosh. 5th pick, D Wade. At one point, 3 of the top 5 picks playing on the same team. And then also in that draft was Kyle Korver down at like 40. And also the coach of LeBron last year, number 32.
Mr. Walton.
Luke Walton. Same draft. How awkward would that be? Hey, Mr. LeBron.
The number 2 pick was to the Detroit Pistons.
Darko. There it is. Yep. I knew it. Came to me.
Is it Milicic?
Yeah. Right as soon as you about said it.
Gosh, Chris Bosh.
Darko Milicic.
Chris Kaman.
It was a stacked draft.
Yeah, my gosh. Now, unfortunately, 85% of these guys didn't play very long, but or they were role players. However, but
the top 5 were stacked.
but at the time, yes, very stacked.
Can you imagine passing on Melo, Bosch, and D-Wade to get Darko?
Talk about smacking yourself around a little bit.
Ouch.
Which it worked out for them in the long run because they ended up winning the NBA title a few years later.
Yeah, true.
But they could have made it easier on themselves if they would have got Melo.
D-Wade's second in shots blocked for guards in the history of the NBA. Dude's just a winner. Flash.
I really wanted him to have success in Chicago.
Yeah.
When he went home.
Yeah.
Just didn't pan out that way.
Kind of like D-Rose.
But he's a Miami guy, and and back when Shaq joined him and they won the NBA title, gosh, I don't even remember what year that was now. It was mid 2000s. That was some fun basketball. Watching the Heat go out there and play the way that they did. As a matter of fact, I feel like they beat the Mavericks. They did. So that was a pretty special thing for Shaq to go down there and get that without Kobe and bring one to D Wade. That was pretty cool, and then for him to be able to draw his friends in. Now, what I thought was really cool was D Wade's last game when the Banana Boat Gang squad, whatever they're called, all got together to watch his last game. You had LeBron, you had Melo, you had Chris Paul, all there to witness that last game. So that's pretty special group of guys to have that kind of friendship and to respect a guy like D Wade like that. I mean, that's pretty special.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It was really neat to see all the friends get together. But why wasn't LeBron with his team playing?
Because they were done.
Oh yeah, he's already shut it down.
He was done.
Chris Paul was already
wasn't worried about the
he
playoffs.
wasn't worried.
Melo with the Utah Jazz.
I don't know
still
if Melo
is,
play again.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a shame. But it is what it is. We salute those guys. We're going to miss them in the NBA. You start to see guys leaving more and more that played back when we were younger. You know, guys that you basically grew up watching play leave the league. And same with the NFL. It starts to feel different. I mean, it looks different. It's crazy to think.
I'm still holding out hope for Vince Carter to win a championship.
He's never going to retire.
No.
They'll have to make him quit playing.
Vince Carter.
What do you want me to be? You want me to be the 12th man? I can do that. That's fine.
But the thing I like about Vince Carter, number one, he played for the Magic. Number two, he's not joining the
Super
Warriors
teams,
to go win a title. I think he played for the Grizzlies last year.
Yeah. He was with the Hawks for a little bit.
Yeah, he's legitimately just wanting to
with
play
the Hawks right now.
basketball. You know, he just wants to. Yeah, he's with the Hawks, just wanting to play hoops, and I really like that. I really respect that.
He's won 15 at every stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stops. Good for him. Started out in Toronto. He was a net for a little while. I remember that. And then went to Orlando for a short stint. Back to Toronto. Back to Orlando. Short stop with Phoenix.
Magic.
Short stop with Dallas for a few years. The Grizz made a quick little stop in the Sacramento area. And now he's with Hot Atlanta. Good for him. That's a long playing career, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed our return to the airwaves, and we hope that you guys will follow, subscribe, talk it up on Twitter, on Facebook. Let us know what you want to hear, what you want to talk about. Like I said, make sure you check in on the website and check in on the blogs. Follow us on your favorite app. I mean, you've got so many to choose from now, and stick it out and stick with us.
Yeah, definitely. For Matt Ripley and myself, I'm Kyle Donahue. We thank you for listening in. We hope you had fun. Let's carry on the conversation, the sports conversation. And if you're last one out, make sure you turn off the lights and lock up the gate.
This has been a presentation of the Coach's Office, produced by Quotable Productions.